And now, interestingly, when you go home, you can look to it. The difference between Saul and David is what contains the oil. With the ordination of David, the Bible declares that someone took the horn of oil. But with the ordination of Saul, the Bible just said, and Samuel anointed Saul. Can I preach to you? Is this my son's church? Can I assume you are spiritually matured to inhale the word that is coming? Okay. So the Bible declares that Samuel just anoints David, Saul. And in less than 30 days, Israel has a king. The earlier your miracle, the shorter it lives. Now, the Bible says that one day, so that's what the Lord says don't do. And God said, hey, as long as I live, I've rejected you. Don't try to fight for me. You see, I just want to sign a warning to the men and women who think they can fight for God. One day the Bible talks about how Gideon sees the Lord standing, and Gideon begins to ask the Lord, are you for us or against us? The Lord said, I am neither for you nor against them. I am for myself, and I do what pleases me. No, oh my God, I thought I was coming to church. Hey. Don't try to fight God. Don't try to fight the move of God. Don't try to save for God, because you cannot do it anyway. He knows how to fight for himself. So when you think that you can fight against UFI, I came as a grandfather of this house, that you are making a mistake. Don't try to fight God, because you cannot fight for him. Hear this. Hear this. In an attempt to fight for God, you are fighting God. Maybe you didn't get it. You want me to interpret it in your language? In your attempt to fight for God, you are fighting God. Let me try to download it. Then God said, I have rejected Saul. One day, in 1 Samuel 16, Samuel the prophet is praying for Saul. God said, son, you are wasting your time. These are unnecessary prayers. Stop praying the kind of prayer you are praying. And that is why I was in Ghana, and I picked it up in the spirit, that there were pastors in this city who were praying for the death of Makandiwa, who were praying for the collapse and the disgrace of this house. But they are making a mistake. They are wasting their times to pray unnecessary prayers. God says, Samuel, you are wasting your time. Get up, for I have sought for myself a man after my heart. Hear this. This is a revelation. This is a revelation. It means that even before the Lord spoke to Samuel about the king, the Lord had already found a king. Okay, you are not getting it. Let me try to advance. Then when Samuel is praying, God said, get up, go into the city and anoint a king. Samuel said, if Saul hears of it, the man will kill me. God said, okay, don't just tell anybody you are going to anoint a king. Tell them you are coming to sacrifice. And you come in peace. And watch out the things you criticize. There are some things you criticize that God may approve. There are some things you may speak against that God will sanction. So be careful what you criticize. And then the Bible declares that he rises up and he goes into the city. And the Bible declares that he speaks to Jesse and tells Jesse, come, let me sanctify you and your children. For today the Lord is going to elect a king in your home. And the Bible said that he sanctifies Jesse and sanctifies the 7 children in the house. But there was one left who was in the forest, who was thinking like sheep, and yet wasn't sanctified. And the ones in the house were sanctified. Tell your neighbor, switch. Now, Samuel then calls Jesse. Let your sons pass by. In the customs of the Jews, the favored were in the house, and the non-favored took care of the sheep. That is why when Jacob loved Joseph, he kept Joseph in the house and released the children that were less favored into the bush to take care of the sheep. So technically, David was not the favored child. And how can you have 7 sons in the house and just one son is taking care of sheep? And that was the level of hatred Jesse had for David. There is a school of thought that says it was likely that David was born out of wedlock, and Jesse was not ready for David's pregnancy. And therefore, when the mother brought David, Jesse didn't want it, but he took it because he didn't want anybody to destroy his name. So when David came, although David was his son, but David was not the favored son. It was true that what Jesse did was strong. The acts of Jesse and David's father were wrong, but the boy David was not a mistake. The activity was a mistake, but David was not a mistake. I am from a polygamous home. My mother was the second wife to my father. My mother did a mistake. My father did a mistake for my conception. But Victor Kusi boateng was not a mistake. I don't care how you were born. I don't care where you come